हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, जेईई एडवांस 2020 के प्रिपरेशन में अब मैं एक मैकेनिक्स की सीरीज़ स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ स्टूडेंट्स के डिमांड के हिसाब से, और जो कि नॉर्मल ट्रेंड रहा है हमेशा से, और जो पहली रिक्वेस्ट मेरे पास मेजॉरिटी में आई है इस टाइम पर लोगों ने मुझे 2 ब्लॉक सिस्टम और 3 ब्लॉक सिस्टम एंड फ्रिक्शन फोर्स को लेकर के कुछ क्वेश्चंस बनाने को बोले हैं। तो उन्हीं के रिक्वेस्ट पर आज मैं इसको स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ ना। 2 ब्लॉक सिस्टम्स आज की वीडियो में, और टोटल 3 प्रॉब्लम्स हैं। टुडे वी विल हैव टोटल 3 प्रॉब्लम्स, 2 प्रॉब्लम्स फ्रॉम 2 ब्लॉक सिस्टम एंड 1 इज़ द प्रॉब्लम बेस्ड ऑन अ सर्कुलर मोशन टॉपिक, फ्रिक्शन अलॉन्ग विथ सर्कुलर मोशन। सो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन जो यहाँ पर आपके सामने है, इसके थ्रू स्टार्ट करता हूँ मैं। जो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन अभी स्क्रीन पर आपको दिख रहा है ना, इसके थ्रू हम लोग स्टार्ट करेंगे। तो जैसा कि डायग्राम में आप देख रहे हो कि ये 2 ब्लॉक्स हैं M1 M2 के, और कनेक्टेड हैं, और फोर्सेस यहाँ पर एक F की फोर्स लगाई गई है। और ये सब थोड़ा सा और डिटेल में जब आप जाओगे, स्टडी करोगे इसको, तो आपको एक चीज़ समझ में आएगी कि इस क्वेश्चन में एक और पॉइंट ये बोला गया है कि यहाँ पर फ्रिक्शन नहीं है। दैट मीन ये जो पोर्सन है ये आपका स्मूथ पार्ट है। सो यू विल से दैट इट इज़ म्यू इक्वल्स टू 0 इफ कोफिशिएंट ऑफ फ्रिक्शन एट दिस पॉइंट इज़ 0। ओनली फ्रिक्शन इज़ बिटवीन दीज 2 ब्लॉक्स। और इस क्वेश्चन में सब डेटा गिवन है कि मास M1 20 किलोग्राम है, मास M2 30 किलोग्राम है। यहाँ कोफिशिएंट ऑफ स्टैटिक फ्रिक्शन फोर्स 0.6 है एंड कोफिशिएंट ऑफ काइनेटिक फ्रिक्शन फोर्स 0.4 है। तो ये सब कुछ गिवन है। दैट म्यू ऑफ स्टैटिक इज़ 0.6, म्यू ऑफ काइनेटिक इज़ 0.4, M1 गिवन है एंड देन M2 गिवन है। और उसके बाद फाइनली यहाँ पर 2 वैल्यूज़ दी गई हैं। अप्लाइड फोर्स F की 2 वैल्यूज़ हैं, और दोनों के करस्पॉन्डिंगली ये पूछा गया है कि जो M1 M2 हैं उनमें क्या एक्सेलरेशन होना चाहिए। सो एज स्टूडेंट आप यहीं पर वीडियो पॉज करके इसका आंसर लाओगे एंड देन बाद में अपने सोल्यूशन से मैच करोगे। ठीक है, तो मैं यहाँ पर इसका सोल्यूशन आपके सामने ला रहा हूँ कि इसका सोल्यूशन क्या होना चाहिए। देखिए कि अगर हम इस क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करें तो क्या क्या सोल्यूशन इसका सही होना चाहिए। देखिए, अगर आप इसमें ब्लॉक M2 का फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम बनाओ और ब्लॉक M1 का फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम बनाओ, तो मैं एक काम करता हूँ, मैं ब्लॉक M2 और ब्लॉक M1 की सेपरेट डायग्राम देखूँ अगर, तो फोर्सेस विच आर प्रेजेंट ऑन M2 एंड द फोर्सेस विच आर प्रेजेंट ऑन M1, ये चेक करोगे आप। फोर्सेस सेपरेटली M2 पर क्या है और M1 पर क्या है। बट यहाँ पर एक कंसेप्ट का ध्यान देना, जो स्टूडेंट्स नॉर्मली इसमें एरर करते हैं, स्टूडेंट्स नॉर्मली यहाँ पर एरर करते हैं। ठीक है, तो इसको बहुत ध्यान रखना है आपको कि ये एरर आपसे ना हो, बिकॉज स्टूडेंट्स के साथ मैंने ये फील किया है कि वो थोड़ा सा मिस्टेक कर जाते हैं। वो ये थोड़ा सा इग्नोर करते हो आप, बिकॉज जब कोई पुली, अगर कोई आइडल पुली है आपकी मान लो, और ये पुली अगर M2 से अटैच है, सिमिलरली ये वाली पुली M2 से अटैच है, तो आपको जब फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम बनाएंगे तो उसका बहुत ध्यान रखेंगे आप। आई मीन कि M2 में इन पुलिस को कंसिडर करना पड़ेगा आपको। यहाँ वाली पुली M2 में कंसिडर की जाएगी, प्लस ये वाली पुली भी M2 में कंसिडर की जाएगी। और जब आप इनको कंसिडर करोगे तो M2 पर अब मैं फोर्सेस को दिखाऊंगा, तो ये वाला फोर्स F राइट साइड पे दिखाना पड़ेगा आपको। उसके अलावा ये जो स्ट्रिंग है इन 2 पुलिस को कनेक्ट कर रहा है, इनके बीच की फोर्स होगी, तो एक इस तरफ और एक इस तरफ। लेट्स से वो कैपिटल T और कैपिटल T है। और एक फोर्स इस पुली पर लेफ़्ट साइड की तरफ दिखाओगे, इस तरफ, एस कैपिटल T। हालांकि जो T है वो F के बराबर है, सो मैं इसको राइट साइड लिख रहा हूँ, टेंशन इज सेम एज F, बिकॉज डेफिनेशन ये है कि जितना अमाउंट ऑफ फोर्स आप स्ट्रिंग पे लगाते हो वही चीज़ स्ट्रिंग के लिए एज अ टेंशन फोर्स काम करती है। तो T और F में डिफरेंस नहीं है, वो सेम है। ठीक है, ये फोर्सेस हैं। इन फोर्सेस के अलावा फोर्स ऑफ ग्रेविटी विच इज M2G, normal reaction from the ground, suppose that Ng from ground, normal reaction from the block M1 N, राइट, इसकी वजह से नॉर्मल हो गया, इसकी वजह से नॉर्मल, इसका वेट M2G। और ये 2 कनेक्टेड पुलीज़ हैं, तो इन पर राइट साइड F, ऊपर की तरफ टेंशन फोर्स, यहाँ पर डाउनवर्ड टेंशन फोर्स, यहाँ पर लेफ्ट साइड टेंशन फोर्स। तो नाउ दिस इज कंप्लीट फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम ऑफ ब्लॉक M2। ब्लॉक M1 का फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम अगर लें हम, फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम ऑफ ब्लॉक M1 अगर चेक करें, तो इसमें इसका फोर्स ऑफ ग्रेविटी M1G, और ब्लॉक M1 पर M2 की वजह से नॉर्मल रिएक्शन फोर्स ऊपर की तरफ काम करेगा ऐसे N, अपसाइड नॉर्मल रिएक्शन फोर्स। उसके अलावा M1 पे ये जो स्ट्रिंग कनेक्टेड है इसकी एक फोर्स राइट साइड डायरेक्शन में आ जाएगी, कैपिटल T, जो कि इक्वल्स टू F है। अच्छा, इनके अलावा अब बात आती है फ्रिक्शनल फोर्सेस की, राइट, कि इनके अलावा फ्रिक्शनल फोर्सेस क्या होंगे। तो ये फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम हमारा विदाउट फ्रिक्शन फोर्स है, ठीक है, ये फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम विदाउट फ्रिक्शन फोर्स है। एंड अगर आप इस फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम को एनालाइज करो विच इज़ विदाउट फ्रिक्शन फोर्स, तो बिकॉज कभी कभी स्टूडेंट्स को कन्फ्यूजन इस बात का भी होता है कि फ्रिक्शन फोर्स का डायरेक्शन कैसे देखा जाएगा। तो फ्रिक्शन फोर्स की डायरेक्शन को देखने का जो सही तरीका है, थ्योरी में, न्यूमेरिकल्स में अलग मेथड हो जाता है, बट थियोरेटिकली अगर बात करोगे तो फ्रिक्शन फोर्स का तरीका आप देखोगे इस तरीके से कि पहले मैं इन दोनों ब्लॉक्स का फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम विदाउट फ्रिक्शन फोर्स ड्रॉ करता हूँ। और विदाउट फ्रिक्शन फोर्स जब मैंने फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम्स को एनालाइज किया तो मुझे ये समझ आया कि M1 मास के ऊपर एक राइट साइड फोर्स है, लेकिन M2 मास के फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम में कोई भी हॉरिजेंटल फोर्स नहीं है, बिकॉज ये F जो राइट साइड है और ये जो T लेफ़्ट साइड है, सिंस T इक्वल्स टू F, तो ये लेफ़्ट वाली फोर्स और ये राइट वाली फोर्स कैंसिल आउट कर जाएंगी एंड ऑल अदर आर वर्टिकल फोर्सेस। सो एनालाइजिंग द फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम without friction force tells me that without friction force block M1 will move to the right side and M2 will not move to the right or left. This is without friction force. So that if we do not consider friction, M1 will be accelerated to the right and M2 will remain at its place because there is no horizontal force, no net horizontal force. So in the absence of friction force, M1 will move forward and M2 will remain at its place. Therefore, the friction force will appear to resist this relative motion, which means without friction force, if M1 has a tendency to move forward, then the appearance of friction force should be against this value, which means the friction force on the block M1 should be left side. Let friction is denoted by small f. And as action and reaction law, every force has equal opposite reaction. So against this friction force, reaction on the block M2 should be right side. So friction on M1 is now left side f and friction on M2 is on the right side small f. This is how you define this is how you find direction of फ्रिक्शन फोर्सेस। अब जब ये सारा कुछ हम लोगों ने कर लिया, फ्रिक्शन फोर्स की डायरेक्शन चेक कर ली, फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम्स एनालाइज कर लिए, नाउ अब इसके बाद क्वेश्चन क्या आता है, देयर आर टू पॉसिबिलिटीज़, आइदर दीज टू ब्लॉक्स, पॉसिबिलिटी वन, दीज टू ब्लॉक्स will either move as one unit, they will move as one unit, which means they will move with a common acceleration. This is possibility number one. And possibility number two is that the two blocks move separately, that means they do not have same acceleration. So if they move, let me check that possibility, that what is the possibility, if I check what is the possibility for system to move as a unit, for blocks to move as one unit. Move as one unit means they are moving without any relative acceleration, they will move with same acceleration. So if I find acceleration of M1, if let's say they move as one unit, let's say they move as one unit with some acceleration a in the forward direction, let's say. So therefore, if you write Newton law equation for the block M1, then you can write T minus F, T minus small f, or you can write T which is same as capital F. So capital F minus small f is the net force and should be equals to mass M1 multiplied by its acceleration a. And for the upper block, notice that only horizontal force is this small f. Therefore, small f for the upper block, first equation is for the lower block, and now I am writing the equation for, I mean this first equation, this first equation is for the block of mass m1, and now the second equation is for the block of mass m2. For m2 there is only one horizontal force in the forward direction, which is small f, so it should be mass m2 into a. Notice that we are using same acceleration in both expressions. You are using the same value of a in both equations because we are looking for the possibility where the system move as one unit. Now, if I solve these two equations, I get a equals to, after solving these two equations, I get a equals to f divided by m1 plus m2, and I get friction F equals to, this little f is the friction force, so I get F equals to m2 times capital F divided by m1 plus m2. Now we also know that by law of friction force, friction has a limit, and according to the law of friction force, this small f can have a maximum value equals to coefficient of static friction force and the normal contact force between the two surfaces. So mu of s is 0.6 and the normal force, यहाँ पर भी कुछ गलती होती है, so pay attention now that कुछ स्टूडेंट्स क्या करते हैं, वो ग्राउंड का नॉर्मल रिएक्शन फोर्स लेते हैं, जबकि नॉर्मल रिएक्शन फोर्स आपको कंसीडर करना होगा बिटवीन m1 m2 बिकॉज फ्रिक्शन इज प्रेजेंट बिटवीन द ब्लॉक m1 एंड ब्लॉक m2. सो बिटवीन दीज टू ब्लॉक्स द नॉर्मल रिएक्शन फोर्स इज कैपिटल N, which is equal to m1g, and m1 is 20 kilogram, so m1g should be 200, and that means the maximum friction force can be equals to 120 Newton. And if the maximum friction force can be 120 Newton, so it puts a limit on capital F also. It puts a limit on capital F. Now, in the first part, capital F is 180. First part, capital F is 180. So, if you substitute capital F as 180 in the first part, capital F, which is given as 180 Newton. So, if you put capital F equals to 180 Newton here, you get friction equals to this m2 30 upon 20 plus 30, which is 30 upon 50, 3 upon 5 into capital F, which is 180. So, it is 3 upon 5 into 180, and 3 upon 5 into 180 becomes as 108 Newton, which is less than the maximum friction force. That means this situation is possible. So, since friction force is calculated less than the highest possible value, it means when capital F is 180 Newton, the two blocks will move as one unit, because to move as one unit, as long as the value of friction force F calculated by this expression comes less than the maximum value, the possibility is confirmed. So, if you calculate friction F from this result, and if the value of F comes less than 120, it means the system is moving as one unit. So, in the first case, system is moving as one unit, and when the system is moving as one unit, the acceleration can be written as capital F divided by m1 plus m2. So, it is 180 divided by 50. Now, for the second part, where capital F is 210 Newton. So, now if you put capital F as 210 Newton and now check the possibility of moving as one unit. So, if you put capital F 210 and if we look for the possibility where system is moving as one unit. So, if you write capital F 210, m2 which is 30 and here 50. So, it is 30 upon 50 into 210. Which means you will get capital F equals to 3 upon 5 of 210, which will be more than 120 Newton. That means for capital F equals to 210 Newton, when we were looking for possibility of system to move as one unit, we found friction more than its maximum value, which indicates that this possibility, the possibility of system to move as 1 unit for capital F equals to 210 Newton is wrong. The system cannot move as 1 unit. And when the system cannot move as a single unit, then the friction between M1 and M2 turns from static to kinetic. And when the friction between M1 and M2 turns from static to kinetic, then you will calculate the friction force by its law, which is mu k times normal reaction force. And mu k is, which is 0.4, and normal reaction force will be once again m1g. So it is 0.4 into m1g, which is 20, into g 200. So you will get 80 Newton as the value of friction force in the second case. And when the friction force is 80 Newton and the system is not moving as 1 unit, so m1 will move separately, m2 will move separately. So we need to find their accelerations in separate equations. And the separate equations for m1, m2 are this one, 1 and 2. So you will use equation 1 for finding acceleration of m1, and you will use equation 2 for finding the acceleration of m2. And that means that acceleration of m1 in the second case should be a of m1 from the first equation should be capital F, which is 210, minus friction, which you will now consider as 80 Newton, and divided by its mass m1, which is 20. And similarly, A2 will be obtained from the second equation here, which is the friction force divided by m2, but the friction force is kinetic, so it is 80 and divided by m2 is 30. So ये इस क्वेश्चन का फाइनल आंसर होगा. बहुत ही यूनिक क्वेश्चन है. आई मीन अगर आप इस कंसेप्ट को समझना चाहते हो तो ये सिस्टम एज ए यूनिट एंड सिस्टम सेपरेटली, ये जो कंसेप्ट है हमारा फ्रिक्शन फोर्स का, थोड़ा सा और इस क्वेश्चन की इनसाइट देने के लिए मैं नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ला रहा हूँ आपके सामने, जो सेम डेटा के ऊपर है, एग्जैक्टली सेम डेटा के ऊपर है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. सो नाउ मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. एग्जैक्टली सेम वैल्यूज़ हैं. ओनली डिफरेंस इज नाउ in the previous question this capital F force was in the horizontal direction. Now we have changed the direction of this force capital F. Instead of applying it in the horizontal direction, we are now applying it in the vertical direction. So now what will be the answer for acceleration? What will be answer for acceleration in this case? And in this case we have a single value of F given as 180 Newton. Just one value of F, which is 180 Newton. Right. So चलिए इसको भी सॉल्व करते हैं, एक बार ट्राई करते हैं इसमें क्या रिजल्ट होना चाहिए. And solution for these kind of problems always begin with a clear free body diagram. So pay the attention while you are drawing free body diagram. So I will draw free body diagram for M2 here and free body diagram for M1 here. For M2, if I draw the free body diagram for M2, right? So let me draw block M2. Let me draw block M2, which has two pulleys connected to it. And now I will draw the forces on it. So this is M2 and this is block M1. And now I will look for forces on these blocks. So let me first complete block M1, where a force will be on the right side, tension force, but the tension force will be same as capital F. Another force on M1 will be M1G, and then a normal reaction force from the block M2. I will consider friction after analyzing what is the possibility of relative motion. So right now I will not consider the friction force because I need to find the tendency of relative motion first. Right, now M2. Forces on M2 should be M2G, normal reaction from the ground, a normal reaction from the top block M1, right, these three forces. And since pulleys are connected, so this F on the top side, here a string is connected between the two pulleys, So one tension force will be downward and one tension force will be upward. So you will get one tension downward and one tension force upward, but both tension forces are equal to capital F, and one tension force to the left side, that is also F. So this is now free body diagram for M2 and M1 without friction force. You will always consider the free body diagram without friction force, and from this free body diagram you can find what is the possible direction of acceleration without friction force. So if I notice at the free body, if I look at the free body diagram, I find, and you can also find, that mass M1 has a force in the forward direction, so it will try to accelerate in this direction. Mass M1 will try to accelerate towards right side. Whereas for M2, notice this capital F, capital F, capital F, these three are vertical forces. These three are vertical. The one and only horizontal force in the free body diagram of M2, the one and only horizontal force in the free body diagram of M2 is this capital F towards left side, which means in the absence of friction force, block M2 will try to move towards left. So M1 will try to move towards right in absence of friction, and M2 will try to move towards left in the absence of friction. And if this is the situation, friction force will now act to oppose the relative motion, and the relative motion is opposed only if friction on the M1 block comes to the left hand side and friction on the M2 block comes on the right hand side. So now friction on M1 should be left, small f, and friction on M2 should be right, small f. Now again we will look for possibilities, and we always look for the possibility where system can move as a unit. So let me check that possibility, if the system can move as a single unit. So possibility of moving as one unit. So if the system is moving as one unit, they both have same acceleration in the same direction. So let, as a unit, the acceleration comes in the forward side. So if both are moving in the forward direction, Newton's second law equation for M1 can be written as capital F minus small f equals to M1A, this is for M1, and for M2 you can write, notice that both are moving in the forward direction. So the forward force on M2 is this friction small f minus capital F, and now we will write it M2A. If I solve these equations, if I solve these two equations, I get A equals to 0. That means as a unit system cannot move. As a unit the system can be at rest, but the system cannot move. So as a unit the system can be at rest. Simply you add these two equations, you get A equals to 0. And then you also get small f, which is friction force, equals to capital F. So A equals to 0 is a possibility, and nothing wrong with that possibility. It is possible. System can be at rest, right? But for system to be at rest, friction should be equals to capital F, which is given as 180 Newton. So can friction be equals to 180 Newton? We need to check this. Can friction be equals to 180 Newton? Let me check. What is the maximum value of friction force? Maximum value of friction force we have calculated in the previous example was 120 Newton. And that means A equals to 0 is possibility only when friction is 180 Newton. But friction equals to 180 Newton itself is not possible. When friction cannot be equals to 180, A cannot be 0. That means this system cannot be at rest as a single unit. And there is no other possibility. As a single unit, system cannot have a non-zero acceleration. As a unit, there was only one possibility for system to be at rest, but that possibility is rejected because friction cannot be 180 Newton. So this whole possibility is now rejected. So now we are clear that the system cannot remain as a single unit, and there will be now separation between the two blocks. The two blocks will start separating. So this block M1 will move to the right side with A1 and block M2 will move to the left side with A2, and their accelerations will be obtained by separate equations. But before that, when the system is not as a unit, friction should be kinetic, and you will write mu k into n, which should be 80 Newton. And now we will find the acceleration of each block by the separate equations. And if you apply separate equations for M1, M2, so this equation is for M1. So A of block M1 is be now capital F 180 minus small f 80 over M1, which I suppose 20. So you get 5 meter per second square for M1. What about M2 now? So for M2 you will use the second equation, which where small f, which is 80 minus capital F 180 by M2 30. So here I get negative value minus 10 by 3 meter per second square, and the negative value has a significance that if A of M1 is on the forward side, A of M2 will be on the left side. That is the significance of this minus value, right? So ये क्वेश्चन था. Now I have one more question now, a third question, which is again application of friction force in circular motion. This is third question, application of friction in circular motion problems. So I will hold the screen for 20 seconds so that you can read the problem. I am holding the screen for 20 seconds. You read the problem. You can note down all necessary informations, and then you try it. You try to get the answer, and then come back to the video to watch the solution. Do not watch the solution before attempting yourself. सही तरीका नहीं होगा वो. ठीक है. सो क्वेश्चन इतनी देर में आपने नोट कर लिया है. मैं इसके सोल्यूशन की तरफ आता हूँ. मैं क्वेश्चन थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन भी करूँगा अभी क्या है. तो इस क्वेश्चन में जैसा कि आप डायग्राम देख सकते हो कि यहाँ पर एक प्लेटफॉर्म है बड़ा सा, ह्यूज प्लेटफॉर्म. दिस इज अ वेरी बिग प्लेटफॉर्म, बिग सर्कुलर प्लेटफॉर्म विच इज़ मूविंग रैपिडली, एंड दैट्स रैपिडली वर्ड इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट नाउ. So it is written in the problem. This is moving very rapidly. So if you read the question from the first line, right? If you read the question from the first line, here you will find if the platform rotates rapidly. So it is moving very fast. And now you have a disk on that. Here is a small disk. You have a small disk connected by a string to the center of platform, and this center is a fixed point, which means the distance of disk from the center will remain equals to 1 meter. You put the disk with zero velocity, right? You put the disk with zero velocity, right? Notice the disk is placed on it and released from rest. Disk has no initial velocity, whereas the platform is moving very, very fast. So you are placing object with zero velocity on a very fast moving object. right? So there will be some relative slipping at the initial moment. There will be relative slipping at the initial moment because the disk has no velocity, platform is moving very, very fast. So as soon as the disk comes in contact with the disk, there is a relative motion, and when there is a relative motion, static friction will appear to oppose that relative motion, and relative to platform, notice that the platform is moving in this direction. Initial moment पर, at the initial moment disk has no velocity, so relative to platform the disk will move backward, and relative to platform if the disk is moving backward, friction will appear to oppose it. So friction will come along tangent of this circle. So now this is the main part. This is the main part of question, direction of friction force. A very important step, necessary step. And now, if you look for the diagram, if you look for the forces on that disk, notice that the friction force which is on the disk is along the tangent. There will be a tension force in the string, but that tension force is towards center, that is a radial direction. There will be its weight mg also. So let me write mg, but mg is perpendicular to table. There will be a normal reaction from the table, which is platform, np, normal reaction from the platform. This way, mg downward, and these two forces, friction and tension forces. Right? Now, if I apply Newton law for circular motions, notice that since the disk is on a circular path, this disk is moving on circle, like so, of a radius 1 meter. So the disk, if at any moment the disk is moving with some speed v, if at any moment the disk has a speed v, its radial acceleration can be written as, radial can be written as v square divided by radius, which is this length 1 meter, and there will be some tangential acceleration also because of the friction force. So now if I write equations from Newton's law, I should write this T which is towards center or radial force. You will write that T equals to mass of disk times V square upon R, force equals to ma, equation 1. For the acceleration along tangent direction, you will write this friction force equals to mass into tangential acceleration, which is the second equation. And the third equation, which is in a direction perpendicular to the table, perpendicular to the platform, is normal should be equals to mg. And you can write one more equation, that friction in this case is kinetic friction force. So you can write friction equals to mu k times normal reaction force. So these are the 4 equations from laws of motion chapter. You can write these 4 equations from LOM, and hence you can find the values of AT. You can find the value of AT, tangential acceleration. Now I will use kinematics. I will use kinematics for circular motion, and according to the kinematics of circular motion, speed at any moment square should be speed in the initial moment square plus 2 times its tangential acceleration into distance, or v equals to u plus a tangential into time. ये जो t है यहाँ पर a टेंजेंशियल के लिए, इस t और इस t में कन्फ्यूज ना करें, ये t सफिक्स है और ये t टाइम है. सो मैं इसका वर्किंग मेथड बता रहा हूँ. यहाँ से आप क्या करोगे, टेंजेंशियल एक्सेलरेशन ऑब्टेन करोगे. वो टेंजेंशियल एक्सेलरेशन को आप यहाँ पर पुट करोगे। नोटिस करो u 0 है यहाँ पर। जब आप टेंजेंशियल एक्सेलरेशन की वैल्यू यहाँ सब्स्टिट्यूट करोगे तो यू विल गेट द वैल्यू ऑफ v, एंड देन यू विल पुट दिस v in this step. So finally you can write that t will be equals to m by r, and v square can be written as a tangential square into time square, which means as the value of time increases, as the time increases, tension force increases. As time increases, tension increases. But there is a statement in the problem that maximum tension the cord can sustain is only 100 Newton. So as T increases, tension increases, and the moment T becomes 100 Newton, the moment when T becomes 100 Newton is the last moment, because after that the string will break. So to find the value of time, you simply put capital T equals to 100, put this capital T equals to 100, put all other parameters, and then you will get the value of time, which I remember as, I suppose it is somewhere around 6 seconds. It depends whether you take g equals to 9.8 or g equals to 10. You can get 5.9 something or 6. So again a very good question to understand the concept of circular motion, concept of friction force, right? So I request you to solve these 3 questions. First, try to solve by yourself, and if you find any difficulty, then you can watch this video for clarification, right? So I will come up with some more problems based on mechanics, and the series of heat and thermodynamics will be continued. You will get more problems on heat and thermodynamics in coming days, right? And if you want to have videos on some other topics, electrostatic, electromagnetism, electromagnetic induction, or modern physics, or any other topic, you can simply write in the comment box, or you can drop a message to me. I will try to resolve all your doubts during this lockdown period. So stay happy. Thank you.